Nkosi Talk Shows family is Nomsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, late from within. It's Friday today, guys. I'm on my own again today, and I'm sorry. I just want to say to the audience yesterday, those who were waiting to see the show with John Gray. So he wasn't able to make it yesterday. He lost a member of his family through death. So is him and his family are going through challenging times at this moment. So for those who are Christian, please, when you pray, include him in your prayers. Sorry again, guys. Hi, Dr. Bigot. Hi, Dr. Bigot. I thought I was on my own. Where is she? Hey. Hi, Dr. Bigot. Hello? Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I thought you were away.
Oh, I was away last week.
Oh, it was last week.
Yes, my apology for confusing. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, I can hear you very well and I can see you very well.
Super.
I am so happy that you're here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My apology for confusing you. I was away last week and I might not be here next week either, but
You might not be here next week.
yeah, but I'll know for sure by my midweek. So
Okay, what's going on with this Facebook business? When I go and restream, actually, I cannot stream on Facebook direct anymore, even on my personal page.
I don't know, but it's been doing strange thing with me. I think it's with me. I think it's a scam or something. But it keeps saying to me, "You are like every other post." It would say to me, "Oh, you're violating this and you're violating that." And
Oh,
I was
that
like,
part is a scam. I get the message every single day.
yeah. And sometimes it's like, oh, we're closing your book, your page, and actually, when you go there, it you cannot see anything. Like they really the page not there. But then I was like I ignored it for a few days just to see, and then it came back. So I think it's a scam, but it's kind of like what the heck is this whole thing? So yeah.
Okay, so we are live. You know that we are live. So the topic today, Dr. Bigot, is finding love again in your 40s.
Thanks.
So yeah, that's what we will be talking about. I'm just sharing this video. So what do you think about the topic finding love again in your 40s?
Well, I would say that's a beautiful topic because everybody deserves to have life, to have love, regardless of their age.
I love
And
that,
I
Dr.
also find that that it is a common saying to find love again in your 40s or 30s or whatever age you are. And at the same time, it's depend on what you believe, I would say. Uh, for some of us, we say love is not something that we find, but we welcome by being loved.
Okay, I have to have a word with Restream because I can't really set up my stream properly. On Facebook, it's all mumbled my things up. Okay, yeah, I agree with you, Dr. Bigot, when you say everybody deserves love. And I like that statement because some people seem to think that just because they're in their 40s, love, no one is gonna want them. It's only younger girls or younger women and men who can find love. But I don't think, for me personally, I don't think it's true because your age it does not define who we are as people or for how far we can go with life. And I think age is a number. So how you feel about yourself is how you feel about the world and how you feel about putting yourself out there. I still believe that you can find love at any age. I don't know if you go on YouTube. Me, I just love YouTube. Sometimes I go see 100 years old man is getting married, or 100-year-old, like 80 woman, 80 years old, or 70. They're even going to the gym. They're like, and some of them, I look at them, I'm like, no, this is a lie. This person cannot be 70. They look like they're in their 30s or 40s, but they say they're 70. I'm like, I just want to be blessed like that when I'm older to look young. So I just agree with you, that big statement that we all deserve happiness. We all deserve to find that special person. And I hope our audience can take that and really use it to actually hold on to that statement, um, and find the love that they want. So how can somebody embrace like change of growth in their 40s? Is it easy, or like me, I'm 45. I don't know with you, do you find it easy to embrace your change, your age as you grow as an individual? Because we grow each and every day. So how do you find it like with your age when you walk every single day? Do you feel it, or how do you find it, Dr. Bigot?
Well, great question, Numsa. And I'll answer your first question first. Do I go to YouTube to for inspirations? I don't go to YouTube. I do go to YouTube to provide informations, content, educations for people, but I don't go to YouTube much to look for inspiration, so to say. But I do look at our clients and the success of our clients, and talking about people who are on YouTube that married for a long time. I simply look at life example in our clients. Well, a couple people, including one client, actually, the person is in her 70s when her early 70s, like 70 years old when she came to us, and she has never has a relationship in her whole life. When she was really young, she has a few relationships. She decided to follow a career path where she just focus on the career and work and work and work and work more, and never have time, energy, or anything else. It's because of a lot of responsibilities and all these other things. She never really have time, and eventually she says when she reached formal retirement age, she says, you know what? I've worked my whole life. See, I'm very successful. I'm quite. She was quite successful in her work, but she never really know what it is to be with a man who really love her and care about her, and just love her as she is, and so forth. And there is a part of her that want to say, really? You waited all this time? I mean, look at everybody else. Look at the people in their 20s and 30s and 40s. Look at all those women. Don't you hear what they say? They couldn't find a man. You want to find a man, Miss Oldies? That's what she says to herself. But she came to us, there is a part of her that say, well, if I never try, I will never know. So she came to us, and within about a year, she worked with us and work and I work with her together, and within about a year, she met this wonderful gentleman. He was in his at the time mid 70s, a few years older than her, and his wife has left her physical bodies a couple years back, and he welcomed another love in his life. And she loved him. He treated her like the lady that she's supposed to be, and his children love her. So, is it possible to find love at whatever age you are? Yes, it is. Another friend, a colleague and friend of us, the same. See, they have been, both of them. They have been working and all along very busy and so forth. She used to travel all over the world. This is not the first person, but this is the second person. Looking back, they said it's funny that we didn't meet each other. Like there's a movie about that. Apparently, we didn't meet each other amidst our travel because their path often crosses. Actually, they used to, both of them used to go to the same all these different regions of the world. They said, "Hi, how funny! We both goes to all those places. We never met, but." When my friend and colleague become a coach, one of the after she toward the end of her career, she was in her 60s at the time. She said, you know what, I have all this skill and all this knowledge. I want to be able to teach people. So decided to become a coach. When she became a coach, she was asked, what is it that you would really love to bring into your life? She said, well, I guess a relationship, because in all this time I never really put a lot of thought. And there's a part of her that says, I'm traveling all over. I'm so busy and I want this and I want that. I want to be independent. I want to have all these things. And if I want all those, have any of you ever thought this way? If I want this, I want to be able to have freedom. I want to be able to travel and well, I mean, if I'm a relationship, I'm going to be confined and constricted. It's kind of like almost feeling like, okay, right now I can fly around the bird like a word, like a bird who are happy and jolly, and then I'm going to be a bird in the cage. Who wants to be doing that, right? And we said, no, it could possibly be a yes and. It could possibly be a yes and therefore you can design what it is. In one of my coaching called Vision Accomplish, people spend actually people invest the first month designing, creating a sketch. It started with a sketch and then it turned into a blueprint and a design of it. There is a saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we start with a sketch and then a blueprint and then a plan on what is it that you love. And there is a concept of a yes and. If you look at your keyboard, the ampersand above the number 7, that is a yes and, at least in American English, which means, yes, you can have this and you can have that as well. Kind of almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. And with her, with my now colleague and friend, we say, okay, so you would love all these things. You would also love this. What if it's a yes? And sure enough, as she opened her heart that way, she met a wonderful, and she also has, sometimes people say mega list. She has a very definite, specific list. And as she create this, she said, oh, I want the gentleman to be open-minded, educated, and very much also into learning all these spiritual principle and growth principle. All these things she put in there. And sure enough, she met somebody. At the beginning, he was not, he was open, but he wasn't into the work, so to say. Well, he's open-minded. But as he saw her and her example by life, she didn't teach him anything, but give an example by life. Earlier, I said, some people said you find love, while others said you welcome. She gave an example by her life. She said, you know what? That's the one part of my life that I could improve more. And they both very much, they both now coaching and teaching all the skill that they learn in the first 40, 50 years of their life to other people. And so, what age are you? These are people in their 60s and 70s. And the gentleman, he did have time for love to a degree. He was not focused on love, and he have multiple. Sometimes we say, well, but I seems to never have luck because I have multiple short relationship. And with him, that was his case. That was his case where he has multiple short relationships, and kind of he's in between relationships and work, and half-hearted here and so forth. Even my own significant other, prior to to meeting me, his longest relationship was less than 2 years. And we have been together, I believe, close to 7 years now. What age are you? What age are you? He was in his 40s when we met. He was in his very late 40s when he met. You're muted.
Amazing. Yes, that's a beautiful story, Dr. Bickett. Me, I'm just a great believer that you can create whatever life you desire in life. I don't believe that we are created to suffer on earth. I believe that we can design the life that you want, and the person that you were describing now, and even your spouse. When you're not having luck meeting the right person, you have to sit down and like ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Like signals, am I really looking at other things? And yeah, you got to look at things, start looking at deeper things, like God beyond your type. Uh, like there are some people who say my type is this. So if your type is disappointing you, maybe it's time you ask like God and ask the universe and say, you know what? Just give me a man that is going to, I'm not willing to settle for less, but I'm willing to settle for more than what I deserve. Give me a miracle of more than what I deserve. For me, that's what I say. It's like, give me more than God. You think that, okay, I look at Nomsa's story, this is what you've been through. So I'm going to bless you far beyond. Not to say, because my type might limit me if I say I just want my type. And I meet girls when they go on dates, they say they observe men's hands. If the hands are not right, they're like, it's not for me. And the man, the way the man speaks, and if the man does not speaks the way they want, is the accent, English accent, or if it's not what they desire attractive, they're like, I'm not dating him. It's so creepy how actually people reject guys and even men, how they reject women. You think it's attraction, but it's not. It's the little things that when they tell you, you'll be like, what now? Yeah, and it's serious. Honestly, it's serious, Dr. Pickett. You'll be like, get a life. I'll be like, Nomsa, it's not really right to date a man who doesn't go. I just observe hands, and the hands have got to be like this. Like I say, can I see your hands? And I observe them, or I observe their hair, and I'm like, honestly, but what actually, the good thing is be authentic. Like if there is a man or woman out there and you're over 40, and you've had Dr. Bigot, the story, the example of a client, the story, and not believing, like not giving up in life and just keep going. And that person who found their true love. And there is true love out there. But if somebody says to me, I'll love you to the death, I'll say you're a liar. Because love is something that is developed, guys. Is if you look at it like Dr. Bigot, you are in a relationship. If you look at it where you are now for those 7 years, how when you began the relationship with your spouse and where you are now, there's that trust now that, you know what, I trust this guy. I just love them when there's peace within you. And that's why you're with that person. You develop peace, you develop trust. And the more you stay with that person, the more the love grow, the more, not like when you meet somebody for 6 months and they're like, you know what, they look at your eyes and say, I cannot live without you. And on those days, that's a lie, guys, because they've lived before. So that love is there. But if you're somebody who's not had any luck, be authentic, wear authentic coat, and know that whoever you've dated before, maybe go outside your comfort zone. Because there's nice guys out there, there's nice women out there. You just need to find them. And you just need to be willing to actually listen. You need to be willing to, and also the looks. You need to get the looks. They are, you know, like there are some men who I'm telling myself that I'm beautiful. Some men, when they look at me, like they would think, no, she's beautiful. But there are some men who look at me and they're like, she's not my league. My league is more than that when it comes to beauty. So I'll say the beauty, guys, comes from within. Even us matchmakers, when we're looking for girls for our men to date, your beauty does not matter. It's what comes out of your mouth. It's maturity. Are you mature enough? If I introduce you to this man that is looking for a long-term relationship, will you make sense when you actually sit down and go on a date and have a conversation with them? Beauty is the last thing, and also the thing that we actually look for is compatibility. Are you compatible? Education. If a man is very, very educated, there's no way you can date somebody who is not educated. You have got to be in that same level. But then you'll find women like and men who have never went to school, but they are smart. Those are the guys that I look for, who are smart, who knows exactly what they're looking for, who do anything to just create goals and be out there. That's what we call it intelligence. It's not just a degree, or it's not just there are those things that, and then ask yourself as well, what do you bring to the table? Just write down the things that this is the person that I need, I'm looking for, and what do I bring to the table to that person? Once you really understand what you're bringing to the table, then you start dating and start putting yourself out there. And also make an effort with the looks as well. I see women, they're like, they put their photos, like my clients, they're like, Nomsa, I have struggled. I've put myself on the dating website. I'm like, can I see your profile? And you look at their profile, they're like, they say they're struggling to find that special person. The photos of the profile, they're out of focus. Yes, there's no effort or anything. When they look at when you look at the photos, it tells you that I'm bored. I've got nothing to do, and that's why the photos have to tell the story. Honestly, if you are writing a profile, your photo has to tell the story. If you are a man, the story has to be, There's only one Nomsa. Let's say the man. Let's find a name for a man. Let's say the man is George. There's only George. Your photo as a woman, when looks at that photo, there's only George standing on earth, and that George is me. And when you look at my photo, girl, you'll be swept away. And the story, when you read the profile, it doesn't have to say, if a woman reads a profile and this one is a busy man, is bored, and they move away. So make an effort to create your profile. If I was to actually to go online myself, if I go online within few days, I will find a man, because when I'm creating a profile, I make an effort, and I make sure that, and I don't put my clothes like cleavage for I just close everything, but it is the time and the storytelling that you have to tell the story. To say there is only one Nomsa Clara Mncube that is standing on this website, and you're gonna stop and you're gonna get in touch with me. And you want and if your photo is outstanding, your profile is outstanding, time wasters, they won't even contact you guys. It's you chasing them away, and they're like, oh, I'm not gonna contact her, so they won't. So you actually get contacted by the right people. So if you are somebody out there, I have not met any woman or any man that has given me the right photo for the dating site. Even with the matchmaking, you ask them to take a picture, they'll send you some boring pictures. And then when you meet them, you're like, what the heck is going on? Honestly, you find when you meet them in person, the woman is down to earth. Like, she's so beautiful. Like, you're like, what's the heck? Who is on that picture? The picture tells you, like, no, I'm bored. I have nothing to do. And I'm not even taking serious this dating business. I'm not really serious about it, because they're like, oh, I'm too shy. I can't be in front of the camera. So I'm like, don't go on a dating site if you're too shy. Just take pictures. Honestly, own it. Own it, guys. If there is a man out there, own it. When you're taking pictures, just do some pose. And the picture has got to be professional. No, some people, I don't know if you have seen Dr. Bigot. Some people actually put the pictures with their friends on the dating site. I've not seen it with the children, but you got actually Ukraine, because I serve ladies from Ukraine now. Alina, she's based in Germany now. The office in Germany is in Germany. Ukrainian ladies, when they go on the dating website, they make an effort, Dr. Bigot. Even when they're sending you pictures, it's all professional pictures. When you look at the pictures, you're like, wow. And I had shown the ladies in the UK, and they're like, no, so why don't we find a match? I'm like, your pictures are boring. So when I try, honestly, when I try to send, like sometimes I will send the pictures and say, these are the girls that you're competing with. Honestly, you have to make an effort. I don't know. What do you think about that, Dr. Bigot?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question, and in a way, it's related to your questions earlier. And do you think you deserve, and why don't people do all these things? And being there is the grief recovery has one saying, which is, if we really want to look at it, a lot of time people, for instance, like you said, people don't behave in certain way, or they don't take pictures, or they don't do this and that. Sometimes it is a matter of people are not well informed, and that's very true. Some people just don't even realize. But a lot of time when it comes to dating, a lot of the things that people are not doing, they actually know to do. I mean, in general, people know that if you want to attract this and that, most people by now they already hear, if you want to attract this and that, if you want a person who look this way and that way, then you need to be a match. But why aren't you doing this? Or why are you uncomfortable with this, even though this is your dream and this is what you would really love? And many times people don't realize that the reasons they know it. We know that we're supposed to do A, B, C, or they look at that and they say, oh, this is not happening. And, oh, that person doing that, but I'm not comfortable with this and that. But the question is, why are you uncomfortable? Why do you know, but you can't make yourself do that? And the Grief Recovery Institute has a very good saying that any time you have problem with relationship, including not being able to bring about the relationship you want in your life, that is either partly or fully caused by previous trauma, including childhood trauma that is not completely resolved yet. Now, it could be because you were being told when you grew up that you are ugly, or perhaps because at some relationship in the past when you were young, you were treated ABC, and now you just say, you know what? Somebody has this thing. He really does not like. He find it that he cannot trust women who speak certain way and dress certain way. Now, he would love women who are empowered, who are independent, and so on and so forth. And the majority of all these women who fit his category dress and speak in certain way, which is women who seems to be very professional, but he feels that he cannot trust these women. So it's like an antagonistic situation inside of himself. He like women who are independent. He came up to work with us, and he said, "Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm not trying to be a rescuer here. So I want women who are able to be A, B, C, D, E, and rightfully so. He's a very successful gentleman and so forth." And at the same time, he said, "Oh, those women are just." He has all these things that initially all he says is, "I don't like it." Like you mentioned just now, Lumsap. Some people say, "Oh, well, look at his hand, or look at the way he does this particular thing. That's a red flag. That's a big no." And that's what he said. "Oh, look at the way these women speak. Oh, look at the way these women dress." And we say, what is behind all these things? What is really behind all these things? And very soon we discover, if there is a problem with relationship, usually it comes either fully or partially from past trauma that is not completely resolved. One of them being his mother. His mother is a very successful woman. Was and is when he came work with us. This is almost a decade ago, and the same time, she has certain behavior and so forth that he didn't like. As a boy, he didn't like it. As a grown man, he recognized those are good behavior. But as a boy, it's a lot of time caused him to feel invalidated. Well, that little boy is still in him. There's a little boy and a little girl in all of us. So that little boy, anytime his sensible mind say, this is the kind of women that I love, this is the behavior match. But at some point, that little boy will say, no, I don't want to be invalidated. So not that behavior. So it doesn't match. There's a conflict in him. It's just like he will never get anywhere. And it was always a short relationship because he met a woman that he liked. But then this wounded part, this invalidated part, at some point, these women will have this behavior because this is the way that these successful women are, and without knowing anything, even anything resembling to that, the little boy said, "No, no, no," and then his behavior will start causing problem to the relationship without him even realizing, and the same things with the way that the person dressed. When he was his first couple year in college or something, late high school, something like that. In his late teens, early 20s, there was a girl who really captured his heart. He thought that at some point as a young man, he said that, I thought in my heart that once I graduated, he thought about all these things. When he's in senior year, he's gonna be saving money. He's gonna propose to her, and then he planned to be married. All this beautiful thing. This girl one day decided to turn around and left him for some wonderful some boys in the college because, well, that one is more cool and all this thing and da da da, and then it hurt his heart. And being a good college and young person, what did he do? He said, "What? You're gonna leave me?" He's heartbreaking. But what all his good friends do? "Oh my God, don't you let that girl put you down. Let's go party." And he's very successful. Even when he was in college, he's very successful. He's good looking. He's like, "We'll get you to the sorority. We'll throw that party next week." And boom, 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 boom. He never even have time to grieve. He pushed it away, and then he goes to the next lady, and he's like, "Yeah, look at me. You go with that guy. Look at who's homecoming princess I'm with. Look, homecoming queen, and the next, and next, and next." And he's a really good-looking guy, very successful, a student, and so forth. I mean, all these women come line up in front of him, and he at some point he was married. He was married for a few years, and looking back, he said, "You know what? The marriage didn't really work because I was marrying her for all this status symbol. Yes, I got this, I got my degree, I got my master, now it's let's find the perfect man." And in his heart, he wasn't healed, and then that marriage too failed. And he got to the situations of just not being able to be with the right person, so to say. But that's because an unhealed relationship. Many of us has heard about a company called Mindfully. Mindfully is a very well-known, you might have heard about Mindfully, Numsa, a very well-known personal development company.
Oh yeah, I like Mindvalley.
Right? So you've heard about Vishen Lakhiani. Vishen
Yeah.
Lakhiani is the founder of Mindfully. So when he was in LA, I don't know if he ever say this online, but when he was live in person in Los Angeles, this was only a couple years back. Most of us know that Vishen Lakhiani also was married and had 2 daughters and was divorced. And when he was in Los Angeles on stage, he was teaching. And at some point he said, he was teaching and sharing about guides, how we can welcome guides in our life. And he was sharing, he said, "And sometimes your guide says something that makes the least sense and sounds like an absolute nonsense to you, but you want to listen." And for him, this is Vishen Lakhiani, only a couple years ago. Mindfully was how many have reached and helps how many people. He said, "One time, my guys, he's like, this is only like less than 6 months ago. My guides come to me and say, 'Vishen, you got to heal and open your heart.'" Vishen Lakhiani. And Vishen said, honestly, my response was like, Heal my mind, open my heart. What are you talking about? I'm Vishen Lakhiani. Do you know who I am? He's Vishen Lakhiani. He teaches people to heal. He always thing. And then the guy keeps saying, and he said, but your guides don't argue with you. And he has two guides, and the other one said, Visions, open your heart. Visions, heal your heart. He's finally said, what? Okay. Heal and open my heart. Eventually, he didn't even Vishen Lakhiani didn't take this in at the first time. When you hear about my story, let me ask you, how many of you say, well, yeah, see, that's just them. I'm all right. How many of us say that when we hear something that we didn't like? Oh, that's just them. That's just that coach trying to sell something, right? I'm just sharing this with you. But the Vishen Lakhiani said, "Heal my heart. I'm Vishen Lakhiani." So open my heart. I'm Vishen Lakhiani. My heart's very open, which is very true. But a part of his heart's very open. The other part of his heart wasn't. And when he finally allowed himself to hear what he needed to hear, he said, yep, the guide was right. And with him, the story was similar. He was in college, and he was with this wonderful lady that he loved very, very, very much. And she left him. She said, you know what? You're not good enough for me. And she left him. And that hurt him very, very deeply. And he thought even back then, he says, I know that I need to grieve. And he thought he did. He cried about it. He left himself. But apparently there was a part of his heart that was still afraid to be hurt again. That there is a part of him that was not fully open, not fully healed, and therefore not able to be fully open. And when he started working with being Vishen Lakhiani, he had access to practically anybody in the world. Once he allowed himself to hear that, he reached out to a few people who immediately allowed him to heal and work on himself. And within a matter of months, he was able to say, yeah, okay, so there was this. And then there was a part of his heart that stays, even though in his mind, he can say all this thing and don't be afraid to be heard, that all this thing that's perfect and wonderful. Being a Mindfully founder and leader is a part of his heart that said, I don't want to get hurt again. And up there on stage in Los Angeles, he says, many of you know that I was married and my marriage did not work because I was not able to be 100%. There was a part of my heart that was not healed and not open. And so listen to what comes to you, even if it seems like the most insensible thing. And this is the other part. Some people say, okay, if I got to work on myself, it's going to take me years, because a lot of the personal development, particularly a lot of the very famous ones, oh, you got to enroll in this for a year or 2 years or this and that. It's depend on what you need. But if you really are open, for instance, when people work with me, it takes anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. If you say, I realize there is a part of me that could be more open, or even if you say that a lot of people come with me to me and say, I'm not sure what it is, but I want to allow my heart to heal. I have a method that it is not digging, so it is not therapy, but it will allow what needs to come up readily within weeks. That's similar to what Vishen Lakhiani says. Within weeks, he discovered what it is. And also we have a method that allows you to be able to, within a month to two, to release not just what's in your mind, because your mind might know something. The way Vishen, being a mindset leader, knows what is right. but to release what is really, really deep in your heart that might be holding you back. And also nowadays, we know that every trauma is somaticized. It get into your body, into your physical body, your cells, and using the comprehensive technique, it will also help you release it from your body. And if you believe in the energy, everything's energy, it will also help you release it from your energetic field. I'm an advanced energy worker. It will help you release it from your energetic field, your aura, so to say. Like some people, Numsa, you kind of like you look at them and they are perfect in every way, and you can even tell that they do the very best they possibly could, but you just like something almost like telling me that I need to stay 6 feet or farther away from this person. Have you ever had this experience? You're like, what's with this here? And sometimes it is what happened in us over time get into our aura energetically. And that will push people away if your aura is carrying the wound that you might have even forgotten just as a survival mechanism. And so you want to be able to release this from your heart, from your physical body, because trauma and grief and loss and sadness got stored in your cell, and from your energetic field, your aura, and all these things. It can literally, can truly happen. I have many clients done this, truly happens within a matter of 2-3 months.
I like when you share the story about Mindvalley on. I think I've heard him sharing the story online as well, and his story is similar to there's a guy online. He's so funny. He's a pastor. His name is James Kawali. Kawalia is from Uganda. He was sharing a story. He worked with Lucifer for many, many years. From the age of, I think it says from the age of 5. And he became, I think when he met Lucifer in the kingdom of darkness, he was 9. So when you talk about occult and everything, so he teaches about that, how Lucifer works. So and then in the end, when he left, he said when he left, he went blind, and he got cancer, and he was blind. He was in hospital for a year, but then he got healed because God touched him. And so when he shares the story now, he's a pastor, he's an anointed pastor. He says now things were not going right in his life, but he's so anointed, he's so powerful. And God says to him, like you're talking about angels, he says, you need deliverance. He says, God, I'm a man of God. Why do I need deliverance? And God says, you need to find a man to deliver you. And he goes, I'm not going to any man. And he goes, if you cannot go find a man, church members can help you with deliverance. He goes, are you out of your mind, God? I can't do that. I'm the boss. I'm in charge. So apparently he goes, he knows he needs it, and his marriage needs to be in the right place, everything. Then he goes, and he goes to this man, to this church, and this guy is teaching, and he's like, what's the heck? Why am I here? You know, when you're like a speaker and you're like a coach, some coaches don't like to be coached. They believe they know it all. And he was kind of those guys. And he enters that and he get taught, and he's like, this is boring. And apparently the man goes, okay, the 1 week seminar is been extended to 14 days. And he's like, 14 days? Me listening, just sitting, listening. I don't do that. So he stays. And apparently the 14 days goes. Now it says the guy was normal and is teaching normal. And now the guy says, now it's time for me to deal with you, James. Apparently he was out for 2 hours. And when he came out of it, whatever was troubling him, it was after 2 hours, and everyone is telling them what he was doing. And he says, since that day, I've learned to take my problems very, very serious. And I've learned to embrace and just the power of learning. And I know there are some women out there are some men out there who tell you that I don't need a coach. I don't need anybody telling me what to do, guys. You do need a coach. Dr. Biggett, you spoke about loss and sadness. When I walked into the church, I used to go online with the MFM church, and then I decided, okay, I think it was decided I'm gonna go in person. So some people disrespected me because when I pray, I pray. I've learned every trick through my GO, my pastor, and I've learned, I watch him online every trick. So when I pray following his trick. So when I get to church, I start going and people start disrespecting me. And I was like, okay. And I just went quiet. And then I just kept going and I just kept learning. And one day I decided to deal with loss and sadness and my soul being trapped. Dr. Biggett, things just changed. I just felt, if you look at my pictures, like there are some pictures where I took pictures, my boobs are too small. And when I started praying, and then my boobs start getting big, and I was like, this is how I used to be. What happened to my boobs? Where was I trapped? Part of me is trapped. And if I couldn't realize, meaning that if I wasn't praying, the person that I'm dating could suffer because of the loss of me. That part of me is not there. Then I was like, okay. And then I went, okay, let me try another healing my soul. And then the part of me comes out now. And when I go to church now, I'm praying and I see everyone is now watching me. And I was like, what are they doing? And then I keep praying. And then now my pastor keeps saying, you all do realize that it's just Nomsa who is praying right now. You guys are not praying. And I was like, and everyone is wondering, what's the heck? What has happened to her? And I was like, and I could feel the difference now. I'm no longer praying now. I'm fighting the battles like I'm feeling the pain of loss when they're talking. Where I've lost the part of me, it's like I'm dragging the part of me where is been locked through sadness, through rejection, where I've locked myself. I'm like pulling me out. And when I'm pulling me out, the tone of me changes. Everything changes. And that day, I realized that actually we are not living a life to the fully of the people who we are meant to be. And since that day, my character changed. And some people may look at me and they're like, what happened to Nomsa? It's just the healing my soul, recognizing that there's been loss of change in my life. There's been sadness in my life. And I lost my dad, and I lost my stepmom, I lost my grandmother, and those are the people that are, and my stepdad, and those are the people that have always around me, like the old adult and stuff. I've got my mom, but I thought I was okay, but I wasn't okay. The minute and then when I listen to James, he says, when your soul is troubled, that's when your soul gets trapped. So that's why the Bible says, do not be troubled, do not be afraid. Or when I have fear, that's when I trap my soul. Like sometimes I start my business, I start worrying if things are gonna be okay and stuff. So can you imagine how many people who are going through the things that I was going through, and they don't know that this is what they are going through, and their lives are being limited. So if your life is being limited, you feel that my life is being limited, guys, please work through healing. And don't say because you're 40 years old or you're over 40, over 50, you cannot find love. You can find love. You get to play your own music. I'm the example. I'm the example. When I walk in church, everyone goes, "Here she comes." Now they don't gossip and stuff. Now they're like, "Here she comes," and some of them are like, so can you teach me how you do this? Honestly, it's very very simple. It's like acknowledging this is part of me that is not complete, but feeling no, I'm not complete. How can I change these things? How can I live my life to the fully and just feel that part of me and embrace the real me, and then you just work on it. And I know there's some women out there who may going through what the things. I was so happy, Dr. Pickett. I thought my life was okay until I listened to James, because I had an encounter with Lucifer, but until he started talking now, how Lucifer work, how he uses these celebrities to actually capture people's soul. And then I was like, that's why I'm feeling this way. And now I pay attention. Every step that he does, like I pay attention. And when I pay attention, I find that I'm doing something. So please, this guy from Man Valley, I believe him when you say your guidance, when you are being guided to say, I've been talking about it, that there are some people who are single, but they don't realize how the universe guides you or how God speaks. It's like the guidance will be like, God, like let's say we are here at Nkosi Talk Shows, and the guidance will be like, oh, Tony Robbins maybe has an event. Go to Tony Robbins' event, or it will say go to Mind Valley, log into Mind Valley, and the guidance it comes so funny in a way that you might be like, why do I need to do this? But I'm an expert. I can't do that. I got to do it. If your guidance says do it, you do it, and you'll be seeing the amazing, like the results. I've seen like sometimes I'm in my office or I'm in the house, and the guidance will be like, sir, go to town. And I find that I meet somebody that I have not seen for years. And that person, maybe I've been missing them. I really want to know if they are okay. Then I bump into them. Or sometimes I have a problem and then I bump into somebody who can help me with problems. Or I just bump into my true love. I did that one day and I bumped into my true love, and that love, we've got kids and it's amazing. So I just believe with Dr. Biggett when you say the guidance, I believe in it.
Yeah, and definitely. And sometimes, as you said, it is something that definitely the last thing we wanted to do, even with Mindfully, talking about Mindfully, the one thing that when I first I was heard about Mindfully, and I initially started as a member, and I was like, oh, you know what? Why is this? I don't need all these things to learn all these things and on and on and on and on. But I something to tell me, okay, just listen and just listen and actually purchase their membership. You never know. And sure enough, from there, from just like, okay, well, I guess they have interesting program I can look at. I have been able to yes, learn myself and also serve so many people through Mindfully that it is a wonderful blessing. And it is just we never know, but sometimes and a lot of the time it's the one thing you don't want to do. But when you do it, whatever it is that you are able to, whatever it is that you would love to welcome, back to the initial question, can you find love? And I say, well, you can be with love in whatever it is, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Can you find them? Well, love is actually always here. In my dictionary, love is always here. Are you open to it? Are you at the state where what you would love is? Because you want to be a compatible. The person who wants to be with you, like you said earlier, Numsat, want to be compatible. That if your heart is closed, if there are a past trauma or whatever causing you, that said, I'm not comfortable this, I'm not comfortable that, I don't deserve this. Your questions was, do you deserve this? How do we embrace change? How do we embrace ourselves as we are in the 40s? If you embrace who you really are, if you embrace your heart and the true beingness of you and your full self, so to say, then it doesn't matter what age it is. For the energy healer, for the advanced energy healer, we greet each other not just with namaste, when people greet people with namaste, but we greet each other Atma Namaste. Atma Namaste is recognizing your higher soul in addition to you who are here and the brilliant soul in you. If you embrace that, as well as you embrace yourself truly and fully, you will be able to embrace yourself in whatever age you are, regardless of whatever going on in you and outside of you. And the most amazing thing is people who truly embrace themselves. If you look at them, you mentioned this earlier, people who truly embrace themselves, they look way younger than they actually are. When I first learned this is a couple decades ago, I look at all these people and they were talking about all these different things and just from their experience, I'm looking at them and I'm like, you got to be in your 60s. You got to be in your like close to 70 years old. From what they were saying they were experiencing, or you got to be like in your late 50s by the minimum. And these people look some 20 years younger than they are. And no, they are very down to earth or natural people. There's not like 15 different plastic surgery or so on and so forth. Most of them they recommend against those. But when you truly embrace who you are, when you embrace your highest soul, Atma Namaste, you and your heart, and fully release what it is that for you that's no longer benefit you and to your liking, you will be able to embrace whatever age you are and welcome whatever it is that you would love to welcome in your life, and doing that easily and release what you need to release easily and quickly as well.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dr. Bickett. For me, guys, I'm just going to leave you with a few things. Embrace your story, like Dr. Bickett says. Your past experiences have shaped who you are today, and embrace it. Even the challenges, the heartbreaks, the rejection that you have had to experience, it has contributed to your growth and resilience. So there is no need to judge yourself and say, no one is going to want me. Be open to change. Change, it comes with success. And also have healthy boundaries in your life, and also create your own community and hobbies. Just go out, put yourself out there. Patience, and perseverance. Those are the things that can help you to get to where you need to be. Like the Dr. Bickett is saying, plastic surgery is soul healing. Guys, I've experienced it myself, and I was like, I have never felt like this before. When you heal yourself, when you take time to actually embrace who you are without labeling yourself with age, you will experience the beauty of life. Life is amazing, really, really amazing. But you've got to do the work. You've got to experience. And for those as well who put their creating profile online, take time to create your profile. You don't need to write the whole story. You don't need to write, I don't like Westers. Avoid any negativity on your profile. Just write what you're looking for. There's no need for you to say no time Westers. that sentence does not need to be there. Just take time, write what you're looking for, take pictures. Your profile has to tell a story. When I'm searching for a guy, I need a story. I need to know, you know what, this guy, I need something to say, contact this guy, not because he's handsome, because the story that is on that profile, the way I look at the pictures, just tell me the story, give me something. And that's what these guys, when they're looking for women, when they meet women like for dating, we search for men and women as matchmakers, but when we introduce them on dates, when they go on dates, they meet you face to face. They want to know, this woman, can I take her to my mom, really accept my family? Or can I really have a conversation when I have problems? Will she be able to listen to me? Will he be able to listen to my story? It's all those things that they all come together as one. So that's how you need to age. At the end of the day, it does not matter how old you are. What matters is how are you embracing your beauty that God gave you, because God gave you your beauty unconditional. So embrace it. Everybody's beautiful in their own way, because we're all individual. So embrace that beauty, and beauty comes from within as well. So you cannot be somebody who has a nice body, nice looks, but the inside is rotten. So inside it has to complement the outside. Dr. Bickett, any words of encouragement? It's 2:09.
Absolutely. To know that regardless of your age, regardless of what has happened in your life, that if you decide today and take the actions, deciding alone doesn't get you anywhere. It's like if I decide I'm in the US, I decide I want to go to the UK, but then that's all it is. It won't get you anywhere. But if you decide today and take the action, even if it does not, even if it scares you, even if it is uncomfortable to you, take the action, that it is absolutely possible for you to bring into your life the love, the financial success, the freedom, and the true joy and the true living of life, not just existing, not just surviving, but truly thriving and living life the way that you love.
Thank you, guys, and thank you, Dr. Bickett. And please do connect with us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe and share the videos if you're watching us. And if you're watching us on LinkedIn, please, we invite you to follow us on any other social media. Or if you are watching us on YouTube and you're not with us on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, please do find us and follow us and be part of the family. And God bless. Live with grace. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. We shall see you on Monday. And I was saying, Dr. Bickett, for those who just watching now, we are very, very sorry. John Gray did not turn up yesterday because he lost a member of his family. So all his event has to be paused. We didn't get the message on time. So we are very, very sorry. But we got a chance yesterday to just sit online live and just talking rubbish. Because normally we have to be prepared. We had to, but yesterday was so easy. When he didn't turn up, we just decided to just talk. We were just talking. So we're very, very sorry about that. And put him and his family in prayers, guys. He needs prayers right now. And God bless. See you on Monday.